Okay, people, here we are today. We're having to take our kitty Snowflake to the vet. She's been really sick, hasn't been eating for about a week, and she's lost a lot of weight, and we just don't know if she's going to make it or if she's got a kitty cold or what the case is, but either way, she has not been feeling good. I don't know what's going to happen here. We'll just have a 120 appointment at the doc and do some blood work. You know, there's only so much I can do. It's really expensive, really quick, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to figure out relatively cheaply what's going on with it. So yeah, got the vet, and we're going to go in and see what we can do. Let's go ahead and get little Miss Snowflake out here. Okay, Miss Snowflake. How you doing, Lily?
He was a little fatty before him.
So we got one here that's really sick. Just a lot of jaundice going on. Was she heavier?
She was heavier. How much? I think she was probably 25 before.
So she's 14 something.
What is jaundice?
And yellow on the lips.
Okay. Okay.
Look at the eyes, you know, the white of the eye is not white anymore, it's yellow.
Yeah.
So we've got something that's affecting her liver going on.
Okay.
Was she drinking a lot or peeing a lot at all?
No, not really. I gave her some. Gave her like 50 milliliters of water, just 1 milliliter at a time. Just squirted in her mouth over like an hour period, and then about a half an hour later, she threw that back up.
Okay. Well, it's got me concerned here. I guess, and she's how old, you think?
About 6 or 7.
And she's been inside only the whole time?
Yep, she's an indoor cat. She's got 2 other kitties she lives with. But they're doing fine.
I'm still concerned that this is probably a diabetic cat that has gone bad, or they have the other scenario where it's called a hepatic or a fatty liver scenario.
Yeah.
And where you get that big fat cat where something happens where now they don't want to eat, they don't want to drink, but then the body says, hey, I need food, I need energy.
Yeah.
And they start mobilizing all the fats to the liver.
Right.
And unfortunately what happens is they mobilize it so fast that then it plugs it up and it doesn't work. And the treatment is to force feed them. Like, sometimes we even have to put a feeding tube in them, and it takes about anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks of treatment to get that under control. If they get through it, they can do well, but it takes a very intense nursing care.
Yeah.
Not something that has to be here the whole time. I would potentially, I would say, yeah, she's sick enough right now that yes, probably, I'm gonna tell you, we probably should run some blood work, probably get on some IV fluids, and possibly consider even a placement of a feeding tube. It's called a esophagostomy tube in the mouth.
What if that's not really a cost issue and we can't afford all that?
But yeah, and then that gets a situation if we're that sick, then you start saying, well, okay, we can go home and try and force feed, just, the syringe fooding, taking all the odds, say, all right, what do we do here? All right, well, the treatment is, all right, every time you walk by, you force feed.
Right.
And I can teach you how to do sub-Q fluids underneath the skin, and to try and keep her as hydrated as we can. The kicker is what we don't know is what if there's an underlying cancer? What if there's an underlying leukemia or FIV? You could be doing all this work and
It wouldn't matter anyway.
right, and you just don't know. So that's where, like I said, sometimes blood work is a good place to start. To quit, whether or not if we rule out, okay, the liver is what it is. I'm expecting the liver values to be so high or unreadable, maybe say if the kidneys are fine, we're not diabetic, maybe electrolytes are fine. Okay, we got that stuff ruled out. All right, now we're looking at liver something, liver disease, and the fact that we went from a 25 to 14 pound cat leads a lot towards a fatty liver scenario. And yes, I have had people been able to do that at home, and just as intensive. Or, everyone in the house has to, hey, give her a meatball every time give her a meatball, and that gets to be an issue. And if a client says, doc, that's more than, hey, I'm a busy person, wife's got this, or kids, whatever, we don't have the ability to do that level of nursing care, then it's the thing to say, all right, it's to properly euthanize. And just say, and I think that's fair, just say, being realistic of our, no one wants to do that, but you got to look at the whole picture, and if you can't get the proper care, then it's more humane to say, that.
I'm thinking more towards that. Unfortunately, and I don't want to do that, but I don't think my family has the discipline to nurse the cat that way. I have worked 12 hours a day.
Right, and you got to do it. That's just, and not everyone's got a schedule that says, hey, I can do it, or I'm going to call in sick, and I got the next 3 weeks of home leave to nurse my cat. And that's where sometimes the feeding tube can help, but I've seen these go well, and I've seen them turn into train wrecks, and realistically, and now you just spent $800 and you still have a dead cat.
Right.
That's a very real possibility, especially when you get to that level of jaundice. Now, like I said, the thing that's going in her favor is we're only 6-7 years old, so we're a younger cat. But like I said, I'm spitballing here. Fatty liver comes high on my list, but being that she's been inside only and all her issues, why now? Usually that's I started with vomiting, diarrhea.
Well, she has been vomiting. I mean, she vomited before. Right. She would vomit, not all the time, but she would have
the occasional. She would
have occasional, and then she'd get really like meowing and be like, oh, I'd feel bad, and then she'd throw up.
Okay. But this one's got me concerned that there's something else. That's going on, and I don't think it's inappropriate to say, looking at my whole scenario, the best thing for her is to say it's respectfully euthanize.
Okay. Well, I think that's what we're going to have to do. What does that cost?
I want to say it's about $40, $45 to euthanize, and then it's about another 60 or 70 to cremate. Say 100, 110 by the time that's all kind of said and done. Cost-wise, an exam would be like $39 here, so $150 for today.
Okay. Let me just call my wife real quick.
Yep, I'll let you do that. I got a few other things I'm bouncing with here. It's classic. It's a Friday for a long weekend, so.
And so if we do that, you just take her from here.
Yep, I can. You can be present. You
I don't want to be present.
Yeah, then we just have you sign a little paperwork that says she hasn't, just from her own bites. Hey, verify she hasn't been in the last 15 days.
No, she hasn't done that.
Yeah, that's the only thing we have to have paperwork signed. It's just those public health things.
Yeah.
So, but I'll call your wife and I'll check back in with you.
Okay.
Good.
Well, guys, it was not good. We had to end up putting her down. She's had really bad jaundice, most likely a liver issue, plus other hidden issues like cancer or whatever. And for where we're sitting at financially, and the way she was feeling, not eating for several days or weeks, the most humane thing we could do was have her put down. It's hard, but I think it's probably the best thing for her. And that she's not suffering anymore is probably the best thing we could do. It's really hard for any pet owner to have to let their pet go, especially when they're so young. I mean, she's only 6 years old, but but sometimes, things happen. So, thanks for watching, and that's this episode today.